In this video, we will learn how to play chess. This is a chessboard which has 64 squares. Chessboard is placed such that white square lies at the right side of both players. Columns are marked from left to right as 0 to H and rows are marked from 1 to 8. See here, white square should be at the right side. These squares can be called as A1, B1, C1, D1, E1, F1, G1 and H1. Similarly, these squares are A1, A2, A3, A4, A5, A6, A7 and A8. Now we will place the chess pieces on the board. White queen is placed at D1 square and the black queen is placed at D8 square. White king is placed on E1 square and black king is in front of white king on E8 square. Now bishops are placed on the sides of king and queen. Then the knights are placed besides bishops. Corner squares are for rooks. Next, we will place all pawns in front of pieces. Similarly for black side. First, we will see how pawn moves. Pawn moves one square at a time. However, at the initial position of pawn, it can move two squares also. Pawn attacks both diagonal square. So when white pawn moves to c4, then black can capture c4 pawn by moving pawn to d into c4. When white moves c4 pawn, it is ready to attack b5 and d5 square. When black moves pawn to b5, then white can move pawn into b5. In case if black moves d5 pawn, then white can capture black pawn by pawn into d5. Next, we will learn en-passant pawn. Consider white moves pawn to c4, black then moves pawn to e5, white next moves pawn further to c5. Now, if black moves d5 pawn, then white can still capture black pawn by pawn into d6. Similarly, black moves b5, then white can capture c into b6. Promoting of pawns. White pawns when reaches to 8th rank, it is promoted to a piece. It can choose between queen, bishop, knight and rook. Similarly, black pawns are promoted to pieces when they reach first row. Let us see rook movement. Rook moves in a straight line. It can move to any square which lies in its row or column where it is placed. Bishop moves diagonally in all squares where it is placed. Knight moves 2.5 square or in L shape in all directions. Possible moves of knight placed at d4 square are all these squares where we have placed black pawns. Only knight movement is not obstructed by any other piece in its movement path. Queen has capability of both rook and bishop. That is, It moves in straight line as well as diagonal squares where it is placed. However, its movement gets restricted if any piece lies in its path. King moves only one square in all directions. Castling. If king has not moved from its initial position and there are no pieces in between rook and king, then king can make long castling or short castling. In long castling, king moves to queen side two squares and rook moves beside it. Similarly, in short castling, king moves to two squares to the king side and the rook moves beside it. It is used to make king safe. Purpose of the game is to mate the opponent king. Here white moves rook to 8th row and black king gets checked by rook. Check means that the king is attacked. Black king has no safe square to move and so it is in mate condition. Also, if white moves queen to e7, then also black king gets mated. Here white moves queen to last row and black kings get checked and it is mate for black. But if white moves queen to f7 square, then there is no check to black king and it is now black turn to move. But black has no square left to move its king, nor it has any other pieces to move. This will be considered as a draw game. Draw game is also considered when three repeated checks are made to king or if a same position is reached three times in a chessboard. Now we have learned all the basic rules of the game. Let's place the pieces and try to play a game. See how both starts with moving pawns and bringing out pieces and capturing spaces. It is recommended for beginners to take care that all the pawns and pieces are protected and search for opponent weak pawns and pieces.